Hi, I'm Short, and in this video I'm going to explain how you can transfer your Kia Flip key with your original key to a new casing. For this, you will need a small Phillips screwdriver to open the new casing. A flathead screwdriver and a pair of pliers set doesn't really matter whether it's a circlip plier, a flat nose plier, or something else, as long as it's something fairly narrow. We'll start with the original key. The key we're working with today is actually an aftermarket key that was made for one of our customers. And that's why it has a screw under the logo. This screw is only present when a key has been made as an aftermarket copy. Normally there is just a layer of glue running the entire length around the key, and this is how you open it. That's why I'm using the pliers right away. You place the arms of the pliers into the notch that appears when you flip open the key. And we want those arms to move apart, which will also open the key. Now, you might hear quite a bit of cracking here. It's nothing to worry about. The key won't break. What you're hearing is just the glue layer snapping. Now, the important components are the key blade. I'll set that aside right away. We have the circuit board. Of course, the battery. And finally, we also have a transponder. It's the part that's most often overlooked, but actually it's the most important component of the key. The transponder is responsible for starting the car. If there isn't a transponder in the key that's paired with the car, you won't be able to start the car. Now, I can already see that it has a bit of a glue layer, so I'm going to see if I can easily pry it loose. Yes. It comes off just fine. We can also see from the white here that there was a layer of glue over it. By the way, it's also possible that there's a small plastic cover over it. If so, remove that first. The cover doesn't have any significance or role in the key. It's really just about that metal chip, the transponder underneath it. Now, I'll set everything aside for a moment and only keep the important parts next to me. Next, we continue with the new key, so open that one up as well. I remove the screw at the back, and again use the pliers here. Of course. There's no layer of glue here, so this one opens up really easily. Okay. And this is what we see next. Okay, of course we have a battery cover. We have the bottom part of the casing, the top part of the casing, and the rubber mat where the electronics will be placed shortly. By the way, the rubber mat doesn't serve any other purpose except to prevent water from seeping directly under the buttons and corroding the circuit board. We start with the first thing, which is the transponder. We place it in the casing and make sure it is really securely in place. Of course, you don't want it rattling around inside the key. So check by turning it over to see if it falls out. If that's the case, we put a piece of paper in between. Or, as we often do, we put a print buddy underneath. These are those nice white stickers you use when you want to stick a poster to a window. You always use these little erasers for that. So I put a little bit of it underneath, and I press the transponder on top of it. Now, the next step is the circuit board. So I place it above where the transponder is as well. And you quickly notice that there are a few tabs inside the key casing, specifically here, and they stick through the circuit board. Basically, the circuit board isn't going anywhere. And finally, we still have the key blade. That this does not always exactly match in thickness or shape. In some cases, it's possible to transfer the original key blade directly to a new key, but in many cases, this is not possible. Often, the easiest solution is simply to install a new key blade and have it cut. You can do this at a local locksmith or have us do it for you, but it often saves a lot of trouble. In this case, I am installing the new key blade on this key. And I do that as follows. We need the bottom part that contains the electronics, the key blade, the button that you use to flip open the key blade, and a spring. And they are assembled as follows. You might notice, and I hope it shows up well on camera, that there are 3 notches in the flip mechanism of the key. And coincidentally, they line up exactly with the tabs on the button. Basically, it can only be inserted one way. So we'll just let it drop in. Next, we take the spring, place it on top, and twist it slightly until it drops down a bit and can't turn any further. That's how we know it's in the right position. Then we turn this over, and we let the spring fall right around a little notch that's located in the center of the rotating mechanism. Make sure that at first it's positioned like this, so the key blade is actually pointing in the same direction it would be if it were folded in. Next, we start turning. That was a half turn, and now we make a full turn, making sure that the spring is still pressed firmly against the housing. So you can also choose to press the folding mechanism down a bit until you make that turn. And at this point it gets difficult because now the housing starts to resist a bit. Of course, there's a lot of tension on that spring and you actually really want to loosen it again. That's actually a good thing. That will make sure it flips open again later, but it does make this part of the process a bit harder. The next step is to take the bottom part of the housing. I'll just put this down on the floor for a moment. And here we can see that a small metal piece is sticking out. That needs to fit in between here. So when we put this in place, we push it forward a bit and make sure everything fits together and that the key bar is still under tension. This can definitely be a challenge the first time and might take a few tries. That's not a problem. Keep trying, and if you really can't figure it out, you can always contact us. Also, check to see if it opens up properly. Well, that's the case. I'll double check to make sure it's fully closed and press it shut a bit more firmly. There, I could feel it snap shut properly. The next step is to put the screw back where it came from. And we'll tighten this one firmly as well. Finally, the battery is a CR2032 battery. You can put the original one back in. We place it first at the bottom, at the spot where you see this metal holder here. Press it firmly and then push it down. Now all you have to do is put the battery cover back on the rear side. And that's it. We still need to visit the locksmith to have it cut. And hopefully for you, the original ugly keyblade was enough to get it working again. If you have any questions, please let us know, and hopefully it will go well for you. Hopefully everything went well with transferring your key housing. If you didn't quite manage, you can find our contact information in the description below this video, or you can leave a comment under this video, and I'll be happy to help you further. Success!